One more thing about this video is I do want to say this one's going to be less interesting as this is more just the story of what happened and the background behind it. So, yeah, this isn't a screaming. This is just more, again, lore and all that. But yeah, I also do apologize. I have this weird issue where I kept looking away from the camera and I didn't realize this till after I filmed it. So you're just gonna have to deal with that. Really sorry about it. But yeah, enjoy this. I'll make the more lore filled version if you really want the meat and juice of all the shit he's done wrong in the past. But for now, this is what we got. Enjoy the story, and yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Keith the Muscoviduck, and welcome to another video of the three-part series that I'm going to be doing about, well, the partner that betrayed me. Before I continue, I need to do two disclaimers about this. One, do not go after any people listening to this video, as it can get you in severe trouble. Number two, if you have issues of discussions of pedophilia, then you should probably leave, because that's what this video is going to be about. For those wondering about the part 3 in this series, this is going to be a more informational version with more backstory. This is just what he did, since this won the poll on my Instagram. So I just want to make that clear. So this one's more of just what happened, versus the other one will have more story of how I felt and, you know, probably some more cinematics with it. Okay, let's start. Now, as I said in the beginning of this, for legal reasons, we're not going to be using their real names, but I will be using his online alias, which in this case is going to be Kiel. The minor in this case, along with this, will also be known as their online alias, which will be White. So, Kiel had been dating me for about 5 months at this point, 5.5, and I had, met this person once. Coincidentally, on that day, I had a panic attack about him cheating. I'm not one to have anxiety and such, so this was very unusual. No idea what caused it, no idea why. I'm not a future teller. I didn't know anything more than I did before he was cheating. So, yeah. Anyways, turns out that after he said some things to the girl, this is what I'm actually not 100% clear with on why I got these. It seems that he got pissed off and crashed out on her for something like that, because he wanted to cut contacts after he cheated, like, oh, I feel bad about it now. I regret my decision. So she said, okay, fuck you, and sent it to me. Now, with this, he told me, well, first he told me not to accept the messaging request on the app that we're using to message, and I was like, okay, because he said something along the lines of, oh, well, she just wants to join the relationship. She got pissed off that I said no, so I'm like, okay, it's a bit weird, whatever. Then I get a message request from an account called his online alias Kiel is cheating, and I'm like, that's a big accusation to throw around. He sent me the screenshots, and now. See, I, again, deeply cared about him. Literally meant everything to me. So reading these for the first time made me horrendously, violently sick. Like, I was disgusted at that shit. Literally, I kid you not, I threw up, and I didn't eat for 4 days. I was so distraught by the messages. And I want to add, when he sent these to me, or when I sent them to him, because I was like, what the fuck is this? He's like, no, they're fake, and just screamed at me to delete them. Now, me not being in a good headspace, did delete them. And I knew in the back of my mind, they're probably real, because he wouldn't even let me check them. I said, let me count the pixels, let me prove they're fake. And he's like, no, delete them. I was just scared and sick and just horrified by what I had just witnessed. And I was like, oh, okay. And honestly, I think that's, understandable with the consequences. Of his actions. Sorry for the film cut there. I had ran into a small issue. But the main point is, with me seeing that and that being in the background of my mind, I was very suspicious of what was going on and needed to know more. I needed some time first to cope with myself and, kind of learn how to relive again. Because again, I didn't eat anything for 4 days afterwards. I was so sick and depressed about what happened. Once I had finally come to terms with it and realized, I did more digging. I re-messaged the person back on their original account, because I had deleted the things. Because unlike, Kiel, I'm not a fucking liar, and I don't lie to my partners. So I told him I deleted it, and I did. So I asked, hey, do you still have the screenshots? She said, sure. And I looked at them. I counted the pixels. I went through it. And I even asked her, can you resend me ones with the new date, just to make sure? Turns out he went back and deleted them. At this point, I had realized something, and it was along the lines of, well, fuck it. If you're going to hurt me, you're going to lie to me, you're going to be an example for every other person out there who's going to lie or ever betray me. I gathered all my evidence. I proved it was all real. So when this man was in the background, fucking on a 16-year-old, I worked at it. Now at this point they had cut ties and he was cheating on me with somebody else, but I had bigger fish to fry. So I had sent this all. These photos here, these chat logs, everything. I'm going to give y'all a sec to read over the disgusting, perverted things that he did. Now, a lot of this was through online, so you're just going to see the aftermath of it, but I'm still very disgusted at what he did. And here's me age verifying, by the way, with the girl, because when I met her for the first time, it was me, him, and her. So I had asked what was their age, and they said 16. I don't know how the he just forgot this, because I remember I asked and confronted him. Actually, I don't think he gave an explanation. So I don't know how, but straight pedophile activity right here. And that's what happened. That's what he went through, and that's what he did. So, without me letting him know, oh, I want to add this as well, because I actually forgot to mention. This whole time, when I was saying how bad or disgusted I was and how shit I was feeling from this interaction, he made it sound like he was the victim. Oh, they're framing me. I'm not in a good headspace because of how I was framed by that person. I can't believe they did this. I need some time away from you. By the way, in this time away from me, he was fucking on another dude who's 28, but, you know, like I said, bigger fish to fry. So, after him being cold for a while, I realized that, the gravity of the situation. I knew what I had to do. So I took all my time with every information he gave me. I started from his phone number. To get his phone number, I went to, well, maybe I shouldn't leak the way of doing it, but the main point is I started digging and doing my research. I got to his house address, to his parents' numbers, and I called him. And as you saw the aftermath in that video of what happened. Now there's the one part that wasn't laid out. It's the one part that has not been posted yet. See, after that interaction, when I told him to go tell his mom, well, this is where I fucked up actually. This is my part where I messed up. He actually didn't talk to his mom. I'm 99% sure. I didn't know his mom was a lawyer, but apparently my friend did, and I guess he thought I knew, or it just wasn't relevant, which is fine. I don't blame him. He wasn't obligated to tell me. But it turns out, when I said, put the call on the computer and go tell your mom, I thought he was going to bring his mom there. No, I'm pretty sure he just set a timer and then just thought of how he can get out of this and use his mom's lawyer, like being a lawyer as a, thing to fearmonger me into not studying this stuff out there. Now, I'm not sure of this, or his mom is legitimately defending him as a pedophile, which is fucking disgusting. Because she was like, oh, well, my mom's a lawyer. She said I'm not going to talk to you at all. And I'm like, okay. So now, there's an issue. His mom's saying that, they're going to take me to court for what I did. Now, I can't explain into detail too much on that yet, as I need to figure out my situation with this, and I'm not going to go too fully into detail. But the main point is, yes, we gave him a scare, but the worst part is he was threatening me with his mom's job to not release this information. Now, at the end of the day, what I did is nowhere near as bad as what he did. What I did only wrong is what I did in the first video. If you can piece that together, because it's in the video, what I did wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. If you can piece what I did wrong there, you got the answer. If not, I'm sorry, dude. You're just going to have to figure it out. Again, at the end of the day, I'm willing to shoot myself in the foot to shoot him in the head because he did something horribly, horribly wrong. So we're going to be going over this, but in the meantime, I'm going to have to lawyer up and figure this out. Worst case, he might get away with this for now, but I do know he will do this again, and nothing's going to stop him. So, we'll just be watching, and we'll see how this goes. Here's also the screenshots of what happened. Now, for the voice messages part, this is just me being like, okay, are you suing me or not? Like, the fuck's going on? So, to my knowledge, basically, if it doesn't get reported to the police, I go away. But again, I don't really work like that, and it's highly likely I'll just take this and go to the cops anyways. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm going to get my legal advice done, and we're going to get this figured out. So, yeah, that's the story of how my partner was an online predator, and just part of the stuff that he's done to me, and what's going to happen in the future with it. Now, I'm perfectly fine for now. At least in the meantime, he gets a scare, and like I said, he never has changed, and he never will. I also want to mention this too. Take a look at this. This might be a voice message here, or it might be letters. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I was drunk at this point because I thought it was over. He had sent me, or I had sent him, as one of my final messages, I really hope you learned something from this. And what's crazy is his takeaway, for not even giving me a single I'm sorry, his takeaway was, yeah, I learned something. Not to just, can't show my personal details online. So, not even to not touch kids, not even to not lie or cheat on your partner. No, 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 no. I just gotta be more safe with my personal details. Yeah, that's a really fun one. So, like I said, I'm highly confident he'll fall into this trap again, and next time, he's gonna have to pay an actual price, and his life will be ruined. So, I'll just keep y'all tuned for whenever that happens. Along with this, I also just want to add the reason why I do believe this is fear mongering to a certain degree is he's like, oh, you called an official government number. Because I did call his mom, and unfortunately she didn't answer. Because I'm 99% sure he was lying his ass off to his mom about what really happened. And that's why she didn't answer. Saying it's a government number, bullshit, bro. That shit's fucking public. And if a government number is public, then I don't know what to say, dude. But that's our full story. I know I keep edging the outro, but this is really it. Thanks for watching. I'll make the more in-depth lore videos soon, and I will see you in the next one.